March 15th, 44 BC, a man lies dead at the center of Rome's political heart. His body, struck down by dozens of blades, rests beneath the statue of a rival he once defeated. Around him, senators flee in panic. Outside, the city waits in silence, unsure whether it has just been saved or doomed. This man was Julius Caesar. He was captured by pirates at 25. He laughed, told them they'd severely underestimated his ransom, and promised to come back and crucify them. They laughed. He was ransomed, raised a fleet, hunted them down, and crucified every single one. Julius Caesar never made an empty threat. So how did a man who inspired such loyalty and fear rise to dominate Rome? And why did the very system he controlled ultimately turn against him? The story of Julius Caesar is one of ambition, brilliance, and transformation. He was a military genius who expanded Rome's territory and reshaped its politics. Yet he was also accused of destroying the very republic he claimed to serve. To understand Caesar, we must begin in a Rome very different from the empire it would later become. Caesar was born in 100 BCE into a patrician family, one that claimed descent from the goddess Venus herself. Despite this noble lineage, his family was not particularly powerful at the time. Rome was a republic, governed by elected officials and a powerful senate. But beneath the surface, the system was unstable, filled with corruption, rivalries, and growing inequality. From a young age, Caesar showed signs of ambition. He aligned himself with the populares, a political faction that sought to represent the interests of the common people, often in opposition to the conservative Senate elite. This choice would shape his career and put him in danger early on. During the dictatorship of Sulla, Caesar was targeted for his political connections and refused orders to divorce his wife, whose family was linked to Sulla's enemies. Forced into hiding, Caesar narrowly escaped execution. This early experience taught him a lesson he would never forget. In Roman politics, survival required both courage and calculation. The famous pirate incident occurred around 75 BCE during Caesar's journey to study rhetoric. Captured in the Aegean Sea, he reportedly behaved less like a prisoner and more like a superior among captors. He joked with them, demanded they increase his ransom, and warned them, openly, that he would return and punish them. After his release, he did exactly that. He raised a small naval force, pursued the pirates, captured them, and ordered their execution, reportedly by crucifixion, just as he had promised. This episode revealed something essential about Caesar. He was bold, decisive, and utterly confident in his own authority. As Caesar's political career progressed, he climbed the traditional Roman ladder of offices, known as the cursus honorum. He served as quaestor, aedile, and eventually praetor, gaining both experience and popularity. He spent lavishly on public games and events, often going deep into debt to secure the support of the Roman people. But Caesar understood that true power required alliances. In 60 BCE, he formed a political partnership known as the First Triumvirate with two of the most powerful men in Rome, Pompey the Great and Marcus Licinius Crassus. This informal alliance allowed the three men to dominate Roman politics, bypassing the traditional authority of the Senate. Caesar was elected consul in 59 BCE, and shortly after, he secured command of the Roman provinces in Gaul. It was in Gaul, modern-day France, and surrounding regions, that Caesar would make his name immortal. From 58 to 50 BCE, Julius Caesar led the Gallic Wars, a series of military campaigns that showcased his strategic brilliance, relentless determination, and sometimes ruthless tactics. Facing a variety of Gallic tribes, Caesar demonstrated exceptional leadership, often defeating opponents who vastly outnumbered his forces. Through careful planning, rapid maneuvers, and disciplined troops, he expanded Roman control across much of Gaul, significantly enlarging the Republic's territory and solidifying his reputation as one of Rome's greatest military minds. Beyond the battlefield, Caesar was also a master of perception. He documented his campaigns in Commentarii de Bello Gallico, a detailed account written in a clear, precise style. While these writings provided a record of his military achievements, they also served as propaganda, presenting him as both a capable commander and a defender of Rome's interests. By controlling the narrative, Caesar strengthened his political position and cultivated public support back home. The Gallic Wars not only reshaped the map of Europe, but also propelled Caesar toward greater power. They highlighted his combination of tactical genius, ambition, and political savvy, qualities that would ultimately define his rise in Roman history and lay the foundation for the end of the Roman Republic. By the end of the Gallic Wars, Caesar had become one of the most powerful and popular figures in the Roman world. But his success also made him a threat. Tensions between Caesar and Pompey the Great grew after the death of Crassus. Pompey aligned himself with the Senate, which increasingly viewed Caesar as a dangerous rival. In 49 BCE, the Senate ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. Caesar faced a choice: obey and risk political ruin, or defy the Senate and risk civil war. He chose defiance. Crossing the Rubicon River with his army, Caesar reportedly declared, "The die is cast." This act was illegal under Roman law and marked the beginning of a civil war that would change the course of history. Caesar's forces quickly gained the upper hand. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated before Caesar could confront him. Caesar emerged victorious, consolidating power and returning to Rome as its dominant leader. In the years that followed, Caesar implemented a series of reforms. He restructured debt laws, expanded the Senate, initiated public works projects, and introduced the Julian calendar, a system of timekeeping that would influence the modern calendar still in use today. Yet his accumulation of power alarmed many. In 44 BCE, Caesar was declared dictator for life. To his supporters, this was recognition of his leadership and achievements. To his critics, it was a clear sign that the Roman Republic was coming to an end. A group of senators, including Brutus and Cassius, conspired to assassinate him. They believed they were saving Rome from tyranny. On March 15th, 44 BCE, the Ides of March, Caesar entered the Senate. Surrounded by conspirators, he was attacked and stabbed multiple times. According to tradition, his final words were directed at Brutus, a man he trusted. "You too, Brutus?" His death shocked Rome, but instead of restoring the Republic, it triggered another wave of chaos. Caesar's assassination led to further civil wars, ultimately resulting in the rise of his adopted heir, Augustus, and a transformation of Rome from a republic into an empire. In death, Caesar achieved what he could not fully secure in life: the permanent restructuring of Roman governance. So is Julius Caesar a hero or a tyrant? The answer depends on perspective. To many, he was a visionary leader who brought stability to a fractured system. He expanded Rome's borders, implemented reforms, and demonstrated extraordinary military and political skill. To others, he was the man who destroyed the Republic, concentrating power in his own hands and paving the way for imperial rule. Caesar's legacy is not defined by a single narrative. It is a complex blend of achievement and controversy, brilliance and ambition. He revolutionized warfare, governance, and political strategy. He understood the power of image, communication, and loyalty. He inspired devotion among his soldiers and fear among his enemies. Even today, his name remains synonymous with power. Titles like Kaiser and Tsar are derived from Caesar, reflecting the lasting influence of his legacy. Julius Caesar's life raises fundamental questions about leadership and power. Can a system be saved by breaking it? Can one man's ambition reshape the course of history, for better or worse? March 15th, 44 BC, the body of Julius Caesar lies still. The republic he served is fading. The empire that will rise in its place is already beginning to take shape. In the end, Caesar was both the architect of Rome's transformation and the catalyst of its downfall. A man who conquered his enemies, defied tradition, and reshaped history itself. Hero or tyrant? The answer remains as powerful and unresolved as the legacy he left behind. I'm happy when you comment. YouTube is happy when you share. The algorithm is happy when you subscribe. and the geniuses of history are happy when their story is finally told.